Good evening, folks. Joker Hills Farm. We've got a bunch of St Croix Cross, pure registered St Croix, pure registered St Croix. I don't know. There's 65 or 66 ewes here ready to be bred back, and we'll probably breed about November 15th. Give us mid-April to May babies. A lot of these will have twins, and I'm hoping some of them has triplets. And there's some that will have, there's some 8-month-old by the time they get bred this fall. They'll just have singles. Pretty much all of them will breed, but you never really know. We got a lick tub there to bring up her protein just a little bit before we breed them. That's supposed to help them. Supposed to help flush them. But next year we should have somewhere around 90 lambs, and keep a watch. We'll have some of these for sale. These sheep they don't get any shots, and they don't get any wormer. And I don't know, maybe this spring some of the ram lambs, we might ban some of them. If we do, we'll give them a tetanus shot when we ban them, but that will be the only thing they get. That's a big piece of meat falling off, and I've seen them get tetanus. So all these are clean, no worms, beautiful sheep. That one right there, that's going to be the first time she's ever had a lamb. She was last year's, and she never caught, and I know she'll breed this year. Look how big that sheep has got. Her mother made a dandy too. So sometimes if they don't breed, I think it helps them to grow out when they're a year and a half old. This old girl right here, not very big, boy, she raised a powerful ram. Okay, folks, Joker Hills Farm. Phone number's on the website. Over there's our guard dog hiding, because I'm up here talking to myself. She's hiding. The other one over there is laying bare food, and the old dog's laying back in there. They never leave the sheep. You could open the gates. You couldn't. If a sheep stays in this field, the dog is going to stay. And how you get dogs like that is actually not having a lot of contact with them. Just put them out with the sheep when they're little. You gotta put them out there when they're pretty young, but they got to get big enough so the ewes won't kill them or knock them too hard. But once they get used to that and the sheep bond with them, they're in the field. These are Anatolian and a little bit of Pyrenees. Been our experience, we don't like pure Pyrenees because they're off and traveling. They think everybody's got a farm, and I don't like that. I want mine to stay where the sheep is at. There's coyotes everywhere here around Joker, West Virginia, Anna Maria, Creston area. And if they don't stay with them, next year, I think I'm going to try to get my paddock smaller so they don't get too far out away from one another, because the dogs can't guard everything. And these coyotes, I mean, they can come in and grab one and take off. I don't think we've had that to happen, but I don't like them spread out. The St Croix seems to flock better. The Katahdins are a little bit more kind of everywhere. I mean, now they don't separate off by themselves unless something's wrong with them. But The guard dogs hear something over the hill here. Now they take off and don't have no clue what that would be, but only they do. And I'll leave that job to them. Because if we tried to figure out everything on ourselves, we'd never go to the house. But they know what they're doing. Anyway, we should have some puppies next year for sale too. I don't want to raise house dogs, so they're not going to be the kind you can love and pet around on. If you do, when you get them when they're pups, they're not going to make you a real good dog. These dogs will come up to me. I just fed them over there a while ago. One come up and licked my hand. The other one stays back, but they run to us every day. You just don't get to pet around on them, and that's we kind of raised them that way. So these are some ewe lambs right here, some St Croix ewe lambs that I bought, registered, all but two. There's two in there that's got too much collar, and you cannot register them in the international anyway. So these are international St Croix, purebred, registered, and I've got 10 more registered St Croix, and then I've got some crosses. You put this St Croix blood in them, and they're very resistant. And I found out that in the hills of West Virginia, these hilltops is better to raise sheep than the low ground, because the low ground is pretty damp, even in the summer. I mean, you got some low places, and it's just a lot of worms hang around on the low ground. And on top of the ground, the sun is shining pretty early of the morning and pretty late in the evening, and it just gets rid of a lot of these parasites. Helps anyway. So that's one thing to remember. Get them out away from shady areas and get them, shoot far, get them in the woods. They talk about leaves and stuff. These acorns had been falling off of this tree. They've been eating acorns all fall, and they know what they can eat and what they can't. Now, if you just didn't have no other kind of feed for them, yeah, they probably hurt yourself. But you know, even cattle eats acorns. Now, the young calves and stuff, they can get, you can get sick with them green ones. But these sheep will roll them green ones around, and we've seen them. And I wonder why they didn't eat that one. But they know what they're doing. And a few days later, or a week or so, they eat those acorns that fell. So they I believe instinct or smart or whatever, they know more than we give them credit for. So the main thing is where they can have a lot of feed. They've got autumn olive all around down low here where they can get, and if I cut it, they'll eat it like crazy. They can eat dried oak leaves in the wintertime. Just get them out on the ground. Up there's a buzzard. There's buzzards everywhere. They fly over. But if them dogs see that, they'll go off like a fire siren. But anyway, Joker Hills Farm. Phone number's on the website. Thank you.